I didn't know you got hit by a car.
Yeah, I crossed the street. It was okay. I'm on a thing, and a guy took a right into me, and I just went airborne, and then I had the thing where the time sort of stopped, and I sort of felt like boom, boom, I'm laying on the ground, and I can hear like a couple girls like, "Oh my God, is he okay?" And the guy's leaning out the window.
Before you hit the ground, God damn, you can't hit the ground. Oh my God!
Yeah, like
bitch, let me land first.
yeah.
Near-death experiences. We've been talking about that.
What you're working on?
Yeah, I had that's actually my first bit I ever did was my near-death experience. I was
Was this for real?
Yeah, I was.
How old are you?
I am 38, and this is the one I can think of immediately because this was the one I was like, oh shit, I can't do shit about this.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 34, 33, something like that. And it was a tornado. Like it was a tornado around my house and we had to seek shelter in the bathroom, and we was all in the bathtub and everything. The lights went out.
How many of you are in the bathtub?
It was Juice was over there, and my homeboy Mick, who passed, was over there, and we podcasted all the time. This was before I ever did comedy. Juice had did comedy before. So I was like, all right, well, fuck it then. You know what I'm saying? You the comedian, and I'll just, podcast with you since you're the comedian, and I'll get in eventually somehow. And I eventually did. And it was crazy because I had watched the Weather Channel because I had got to the age where I wanted to know what the weather was going to be like for the week. You know what I'm saying? I was like 30 something. I need to know what the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
For real. Like, is it going to rain? Is it going to rain today, this week?
Working outdoors, or you're at the age?
I mean,
just at age.
Just at age where it's like, I want to know if I need to put a hoodie on these days or not. You know what I mean? And,
I wonder what the general age would be for that.
I would say 30 something. Around 30 something is
Sounds
just
like
going to
34,
click for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I got to know what the weather's going to be like for the week. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I
Like how he's
noticed
talking about he's almost dead, and you're like, I wonder what age.
Right.
He's talking about the time
And
he
look,
almost
I,
dead.
Like, have you started worrying about the weather for the week yet?
No.
Are you looking at the 5-day forecast?
He just be like, cold,
Yeah.
jacket.
That's it.
Have you started looking at the weather, the 5-day forecast?
I don't even look at the day
Motherfucker got a
forecast.
jacket on.
I just walk outside.
So I'm looking at the weather, and I noticed they got a tornado warning up on Sunday. I'm watching the weather on Monday. The tornado warning is for Sunday.
They can't have a warning.
Shit, tornado watch or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was asking, I was like, yo, is it a tornado warning or a tornado watch? When I was like, whatever the fuck it is, they already got it going on. They already got the light one for Sunday. It's Monday. She's like, damn, that's kind of early. And I was like, yeah, I ain't never seen them put a tornado warning out 5-6 days in advance. This is new. Oh well. So I go on with the week. Beautiful weather all week. Get to the day of the tornado, and it's a nice afternoon, nice Sunday afternoon. At the time, me and my wife was going to church a lot. Or not a lot, but like on Sundays when you're supposed to go. And, never Saturdays though. Never. And
Does not sound like a lot.
yeah, the appropriate amount of time you should go to church, in my opinion. And but we didn't go that day or whatever. And Mick and then Richard came over, and so we was like, fuck it, we're gonna podcast. We're gonna get high in Mick Daddy truck, and we're gonna podcast. Mick Daddy had a 1977 Dodge Ram, a big, you know what I'm saying, a nice size damn, you know what I'm saying, truck, for back then. And so we in there and we smoking and we doing a podcast, and I noticed the clouds was going around in circles, like the cirrus clouds they have a curvature to them. You know, like I can see this shit. I'm like,
cool.
yeah, it is, and then it's not.
I
I'm
was in the house then.
Yeah, because Richard he like, damn, is them clouds in a circle? And I'm like, yo, they are, and I've never seen that shit before in my life. I was like, it's a tornado warning today, right? He was like, a tornado warning or a tornado watch? I was like, what's the fucking difference? You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, for real, tell me the difference because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure.
Watch means that there's conditions that make it so that there could be tornadoes.
And a warning is it's a tornado.
And the warning is, look,
imminent.
motherfucker, there's some clouds in a circle. That's the warning.
They shouldn't make them both W words.
Yeah.
You're right, because that's confusing.
That got me too. It gets everybody.
Yeah.
It's probably like
Because
thousands
watch,
of people
tornado
dead
watch,
because
that
of
means
that.
tornado watch.
That's never
Watch
tornado.
out for a tornado.
Yeah,
Tornado.
watch
Tornado
out.
warning.
Both of them sound scary.
Warning,
Watch
there could be a
out.
tornado. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
No.
not conclusive enough. I feel that.
Yeah, it's confusing.
And so,
Niggas probably died over that.
right. And so we didn't. So I told Richard about it. He was like, "Oh, do you want?" He's like, "Let's go chase a tornado." And I was like, "Bro, black people don't do that shit. We're not going to chase tornadoes, and we in Mick Daddy truck. We not even equipped for that shit." And he's like, "Oh, we can be the tornado hunter niggers." And I was like, "Bro, first of all, why the fuck you say it like that?" You know what I'm saying? Like he said it with a hard ER. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And
I'm like,
he sung.
yeah, I was like, why would you say it like that? And I was like, never say that shit again. And no, we're not going to chase no fucking tornado, bro. I don't even like where we even begin to look. We don't got the whatever. And so we keep podcasting, and then my wife come out the door. She's like, "Hey, it's a tornado warning." And I'm like, "A tornado warning or a tornado watch?"
Right.
And she was like, "What's the difference?" I was like, "I don't know. Find out and fucking damn." You know what I'm saying?
You had me around to be
Right.
like, that means get in the tub.
right. And then
Tom had watched the Weather Channel more.
Yeah.
than
And
you.
so-
I feel like the circling cloud should have told you to go in the house.
I mean, but
I want to know how accurate was the forecast the first 5 days? Like, before,
I mean, it was pretty fucking spot on.
well, then you should have been a little worried then.
But you know,
tornado.
but clear skies and overcast is kind of like that
Yeah.
ain't hard to fucking guess. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. And so a few minutes later, the Amber Alert goes off. The weather alert, the emergency alert system buzzer goes off, and it goes off like
Amber
beep.
Alert, national weather. What's the difference?
Because it's usually an Amber Alert. Every time that you hear that noise, it's somebody's kid missing, right? Usually, and then it goes beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, tornado warning, 6 shelter now. And I look at Richard, and I look at my homeboy, and my homeboy like, shit, I'm in my daddy truck, man. I shit ain't going nowhere. I got my bottle. I'll be all right. I look back at Richard. Richard's fucking gone. You know what I'm saying? He's already out the door, headed to my front porch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then so I catch up. I'm right behind him. We step for step, sound like a marching band. I get to the top of the stairs, and I look over the horizon, over the trees, and I'm like, oh fuck! It looks like a big ass V, you know, of a cloud, but I can't see what's under the tree line. So I'm just like, fuck, that's got to be what the fuck I think it is. Mm-hmm. And I go in the house, and my wife like, what do we do? I'm like, shit, let's go in the hallway. And she like, I thought it said go in the bathroom. I said, well, fuck it, we're going in the bathroom. Let's go in the bathroom then.
That's the right decision.
And we go in the bathroom, and Richard in there with us. And so my girls, they getting uncomfortable because they like, hey, what the fuck is he doing in here? Well, first of all, what the fuck are y'all doing in here?
Right. Yeah.
And what is he doing in here? Like, we said, nah, you told us not to go in the bathroom with adults, and here we are in the bathroom with adults. Like, what's happening? I'm like, yo, this is an emergency. I'm trying not to tell them that it's a tornado warning because I don't want them to freak the fuck out. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a fucking bathroom. And so me and my wife in the tub, and Richard he calling his son. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, Amy, it's a tornado warning. She's like, oh, you know, it's sunny over here. And he's like, no, it's a tornado here. So
It'd be funny if his son was like, we should go tornado. What
Right.
needs to be tornado hunters.
Right.
And he did the exact same.
Don't sing the
catchphrase.
theme song.
I can't say the theme song.
His son
but you
is
know what I
mixed,
mean.
so I don't know how I feel about his son saying it like that either.
I got a problem with his theme song. The people can't sing along.
Right, yeah, true. That's
They have to get a
it.
new spokesperson on that Weather
Right.
Channel to have the coming up next.
Right, yeah, exactly. Me, I'm the spokesperson. And
I
so
won't write it.
And so while he gets off the phone, because it seems like it's 20 minutes, but it's probably like a minute and 45 seconds. And he gets off the phone, and he's like, I think we should go get Mick. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, go get Mick. Are you
Mick's in the truck?
Mick in the truck.
Okay.
I'm like, bro, you heard what the fuck he said. He in his daddy truck. He got the same tornado warning me and you got. He'll be fine, bro. He's like, nah, I think we should go get him. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody in this bathroom gonna miss that motherfucker more than me. Leave him alone. He's fine. You know, really, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want this guy to go be the hero and see my kids like, okay, Richard wouldn't go save Mick. Then that's your friend. That's crazy. Like, you want to save your friend? And like right when he get ready to damn make a break for the door, because I'm thinking like barometric pressure. If you open the door, that's gonna make the shit worse. Like
Did you
know,
hear? Did it
like
sound
it
bad?
just like you could hear. It sounded like a fucking like a heavy
Train?
like a heavy wind, but it relents. This shit just would not relent. It was just like, and it was like, what the
Ooh,
fuck?
that's a good sound.
Yeah, that was a good sound effect.
Okay,
what I'm saying?
I can do it too.
But it was, and so and it's like, soon as he get up, I hear a knock on the door. E, let me in. E, let me in. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, so tornado right in front of your house. Let me in. I'm like, bro, why the fuck would you? So I go out there. I'm like, yo, it's open. Push the fucking door. Just because I didn't lock it. Like I didn't run in and like, I'm gonna lock the door, take the tornado out. You know what I'm saying? No, I was like, he might change his mind. And fuck all that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't got time to be locking doors. And I was like, so he come in, he's like, hey, it's a tornado right in front of your house. Come look. And I was like, motherfucker, no. I was like, no.
I would have looked.
I was like, you lying.
That you would have looked.
But see, the thing about it is his whole face he was gray. Like, you know, Mick was about my complexion, but he had lost all color. He was gray. He was like a light gray color. And my girls seen him and they seen me and they were like, and they just lost their shit. So we all go back into the bathroom and Richard's like, Mick, come in the bathroom. And Mick like, he look in. He like, nah. I'm gonna be out here in the hallway. I'm good, bro.
You need a 2-bathroom place, dude.
We had a 2-bathroom place, but it was like we wasn't finna be like, hey, girls, be in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Y'all chill in this bathroom, and it's a big tree in my backyard, and I was afraid like if something was gonna happen, that shit was gonna fall and trap us in that fucking bathroom, or worse, which would have sucked.
So that was your near death right there, or did it?
Yeah, because we went outside and then it was a fucking chicken coop roof on the power lines. The power went out. Me and Mick rode to the next neighborhood, and it was like houses in half.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit fucked up so much shit, like 100 feet from where I live at. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about like.
So that was near death. Your neighbor got killed. That was near death. Like
hey, yeah.
Right?
But yeah. My neighbor got, maybe. I don't know. I didn't research it.
The guy in the hotel room next to me had a heart attack.
Hey, you know.
Cardiac arrest.
Hey, but see, the thing about it is.
Yes.
I pretty much was like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, God. Really? I can't even fight. Can't even try to swim or escape it or none of that shit. I just got to sit here and take this shit.
Like, you know what I would have done? 15 minutes later after I got back home, I'd be annoyed at all the sticks in my yard. I'd be like, damn it, I got the worst luck. Got to pick up all these sticks.
Shit. That shit flipped over our glass table, outside our glass lawn table that we play cards on. But, you know, shit. That shit was scary as fuck, though, man. And I realized... And
once you have that podcast episode?
Yeah. I released it.
Really?
And people was like, oh, that made me sad. Because you could hear my daughters in the background, like, losing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once they... Yeah. You could hear them just like crying. And I mean, it was bad. Like, and that's what made me. I was like, "Oh, we dying." I was like, "We're dying," and there's nothing I can do about this shit. I can't shoot at nobody. I can't pick nobody up.
I might as well make content.
I mean, I was. That's the thing. I was making content, and I just didn't fucking. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't close the app. And that's how I know it only took like a minute and a half. Cause I'm like, yo, that shit was fast as fuck.
Oh,
but it felt like an hour and a half. It felt like we was in that bathroom forever. And we was in that motherfucker for
because you know something that's interesting because in near-death experiences and stuff, it's funny you said it. We were talking about near-death earlier. In those moments that happen, like sometimes in a car wreck, as it happens, like we were talking about time is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like your perception and your time change. It literally like the time stands still almost, and you have that.
You stretch time.
You have that time like in the midst of an accident to where everything slows down and everything is.
Right.
You have like really long thought processes that are all within half of a second that would usually take a minute or so.
Right. Cause that's your brain trying to figure out how the fuck, is there any way we can survive this?
Yeah.
By something we can do real quick.
Right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now.
And that's so cool that happens because that isn't, and then that right now ends up being like literally right then. Like you went through that whole, that sped up so much.
Right.
It's just fascinating to me that we can do that.
You ever have one, Tom, a near death?
I had one, but it was really near. I walked out of a hotel. I put on some headphones. I was going to do a showcase for a college showcase for NACA or something for shows, and it was in Baltimore. And I'm walking down the street listening to fucking Lenny Kravitz or some shit, and they have the streets where it's like you walk out into the street and then there's like another little lane that's for a train.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking down and walking. I hop off the curb and I start walking, and then I didn't even have a moment of, oh shit, like that. All of a sudden there was just a train going by me.
Wow.
And I was I mean, this much of a lean away from smashing my face into it.
Jeez.
It was like, and I didn't see it coming. I didn't hear it coming. And then it's like, I can, even now it's making me like almost sick to my stomach, but it was just like, what the fuck? Like that was,
you run into a lot of death experiences on the way to shows.
like
and
I
mics.
didn't die. And like, that was as close. I mean, that was close.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
When it comes to shit like that, I mean,
Close.
I've done things like that, but I think I try to forget that shit immediately. But I think it's one of the things where it's like subconsciously I never forget, and then I remember, yeah, you almost died that time. You didn't fucking look both ways before you cross the street. You should probably motherfucking now.
Yeah, you should look. You should look now.
I kind of feel like when that happens, did I die in a past life? You know what I mean? Like,
Or in that one, like
yeah.
You know what
I'm
I mean?
convinced that like that, like we
Yeah.
were talking about, like there's
Like
every
in the
choice you
game.
make, that other choice gets
Exactly.
made, and that life lived also. So yes,
Because they
Yeah.
do say there's a lot of parallel universes. Like every like this existence, a theory is because everything's theoretical. Even the Earth's core and mantle and all that shit. That's a theory. They can't prove that.
We made it up.
I mean, we kind of did. It's like, okay, this is probably how it works, right? Right? Maybe it should work.
Go
like
down
this.
there and find out.
This is why we have
Exactly.
volcanoes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this stuff, sure, we can't prove it because we can't. But like, you know, they say we got like parallel lives, parallel universes where the soul of my kid has to come into the world as either my kid or my wife's kid, but it don't necessarily got to be our kid. You know what I mean? So
I never heard
Different
that.
vessel,
like,
yeah.
for instance, like when you look at like this episode of Family Guy where Brian and Stewie go on like different alternate universes, and it's a universe where Quagmire's the dad of the family.
Oh yeah.
You know
I
what
love
I
that
mean?
he's
Basing his
his
theory.
Hey,
the multiverse
He's off
theory.
a Family Guy. He's
It's
off.
not evidence. It's all theory.
Let somebody say
sound.
that.
There's no evidence of theory.
Yeah.
But I'm just using that as like, you know, an example of that's probably how it could be for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was a version of Tom that died that day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's a version in that universe, in that reality, there is no more Tom in that reality. But in every other reality, or most of them, he's here doing something of doing this guy. Smart,
How
it might be
lucky we
smartest
are.
guy in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yeah. That
But most of them is dumbest guy in the room. We just in here chilling. He think about that time he almost died.
that other guy died happier. How about that?
The trolley guy who hit you goes, I have an idea for a podcast. That guy was the dumbest mother. And then,
Dumb motherfucker. Not only that, did you hear he was listening to Lenny Kravitz? He
That's
was,
his
like,
podcast.
how awful is that? He went out listening to Getaway. I bet you get away. There you go, motherfucker. You're gone. Hopefully you're in a garden for Zoe.
Because they say that they say DNA stores memories. We have 14
Yeah.
generations of genetic memories on our DNA.
Yeah.
So like
Like if your dad had PTSD,
yeah, I
it's
would have
ingrained into your DNA
right.
today,
and,
yes.
and if he had it because of like overt racism, but we moved to Detroit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or like I was born in Detroit and only surrounded by black people, but now every time I see any white person, I'm just super apprehensive. Even though he never said anything to me about how to manage white people or anything like that, because we live in Detroit and I rarely run into him, but I run into him and I just can't fucking deal with him. It's because it's just ingrained in me. Like
that data's in your DNA.
yeah.
To,
And what I think
And
people
that's also your experience. You know what I mean? Like if you have a puppy and it's
Yeah.
never seen a Chinese person, when
Right.
it does, it's gonna
But I've
be
seen
like, what the fuck is that?
But I've seen white people on TV, right? I've seen Chinese people on TV. So a puppy ain't
we
paying attention.
don't
to
allow
TV.
that in my house.
dogs watching TV.
We don't allow our dog watch TV.
So
Not other races.
but that's the same. But that goes for every type of person though. It's just that it just so happens that like I feel like if you notice that Africans from Africa, like Nigerians, Ghanaians, people from
Gideons?
Africa, Ghanaians.
Ghanaians.
Ghanaians. That's how I say it.
That's
Like
the
from
closest
Ghana?
to Gideons.
Yeah.
I just have this Bill Hicks joke in my head about him being like, "Who are the Gideons? I've never
Gideons.
heard of a Gideon. Their
But-
books are their Bibles are in every drawer in a hotel. I'm gonna capture a Gideon."
Yeah, but they come. But usually when they immigrate to America, they don't have the issues that even though racism will still affect them, like police profiling.
Oh, it's not built into their DNA.
It's not built into the DNA to automatically distrust white people, to distrust the rules and regulations because I was
where did they live where they don't have to distrust white people? Because that's white people's distrust is universal.
They should distrust them in Nigeria, but when you're in Nigeria and all you see is Nigerians and the dirtiest, the people who do you the dirtiest are Nigerian, you tend to not have a preposition to be like, fuck white people. Because it's like, I'm not dealing with them.
Right.
Yeah, they pulling the strings, but I don't see them motherfuckers pulling the strings, so who gives a fuck? All I see is my chief over here driving a fucking Mercedes, and we all in Toyotas. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Dude.
Yeah,
Have you
you
had
make
any
sure
near-death experiences, Kendall?
Nah, I have no near-death experiences or trauma in my life.
Now I want to drive home.
You've never had a near-death. You never had a near-death experience?
Not one that I was like, oh, that was close.
He just didn't even realize the problem.
Nah,
He's like Mr. Magoo.
I can tell you, this guy looked like you once came to my house. I'd literally been like, the next motherfucker that knocks on my door is getting one in the head, and you walked up and did your fake knock.
Fake knock.
You did saved your life.
Fake knock.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, that was something I almost did, but nope. I've never had a near-death experience. Of course, accidents almost happen.
But that's almost near like that. Like
I guess you call that a near-death
was almost an accident. That would have been an accident. That wouldn't have
I've
been.
almost been in an accident, but nothing like tornado almost there.
Oh yeah, because that shit wasn't anything I could do but leave for the weekend.
Yeah, I think I had another one. Now I can't remember. I can't. I think, but that's the one that sticks out. Like I was.
You think about.
Like, yes, I think about that pretty periodically. Like, I was here. Like, it was close.
Did it happen and then you like felt yourself like to make sure you weren't
like and then I'm like, did that guy the guy must have been honking the horn or something, and then I had to go do a show.
How'd the show go?
I was about to say that.
It was not great.
That's what
I thought, oh, this will be great. Like I just almost died. Like I got a new lease on life, and then and immediately I'm like, I hope I'm good enough at comedy. Like I didn't even get that sort of relief.
Here's a second chance, Tom.
But no, it was sort of flat. Sort of like when I got hit by the car here in Greensboro, when on my way to a show.
I didn't know you got hit by a car.
Yeah.
It's not a question.
You was in the car?
Skills.
No, I was walking on the street. I left. It was during the during the comedy festival. There was an Eddie Pepitone show, and I watched a couple people, and then Eddie was on, and I had to go do a set, and I didn't have a set, so I was going to go walk over there and put it together. And I walk out and I talk to James or whatever, and then I'm walking down the street and I'm starting to think through my set a little bit, and then I crossed the street. It was okay. I'm on a thing and a guy took a right into me, and I just went airborne, and then I had the thing where the time sort of stopped and I sort of felt like boom, boom, I'm laying on the ground and I can hear like a couple girls like, oh my God, is he okay? And the guy's leaning out the window.
Before you hit the ground. God damn, you can't hit the ground. Oh my God.
Yeah, like,
bitch, let me land first.
Yeah. I hear the guy get out of the car and he's like, are you okay? And I think I'm okay. And I can't even remember the dialogue, but the guy obviously was worried, but I just.
Yeah, he just hit somebody.
Yeah, he just hit somebody, and then I was like, I think I'm okay, and they're like, we need to call an ambulance, and I think I'm okay, and he goes, and the other girl goes, no, we're calling an ambulance, and the guy goes, he's okay, like So all that sort of happened. I could hear that. It's like the only way I can describe it is like when you're on mushrooms or whatever, and there's like a silence right around you, but you hear like
everything happening.
This conversation here clearly, and the conveation across the street clearly, and like all that sort of stuff was happening.
That shit is weird. Like,
so you always have your sets ready now, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You just breeze right on past that thing.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it that hit you?
It's just a regular old 4-door like.
Oh, it's crazy. Had they been in New York, you'd have got crazy paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying like, why didn't you? What are you doing? Why didn't you go to the doctor? And I should have gone and
got yourself.
Yeah, but I had the adrenaline going, and I was like, oh, all right, I got a show. I got it.
The insurance would have
I was stupid not to. You know what I mean? I had that happen before.
But
in a
you
car
had a
wreck,
show though, bro. So I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. Like I'd have been like, damn, I got a show. Do I want to just $50? Nope.
Boy, I would have been laying there.
Yeah.
For a while.
I have family that would have been very upset with me. Like on my grandmother's side up in New York, they did that. They would walk in front of cars and get hit and then collect money, and and claim disabilities and all, they would have been like, dude, you
Slipping
could have
Tom.
had, you could have had a bunch of shit paid for right there,
Yeah.
dude. That's just stupid. And they're right. I should have, but I just didn't. At the time, I was like just thankful to be okay. And then I kind of felt bad for the guy because like, this.
Did
guy's
he pull
just
out of the
trying
parking lot and hit you?
He was pulling out no, he was leaving. He had a golf shirt on. He's obviously had one or two drinks, but not enough to be drunk, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was taking a right. You're allowed to take a right on a red light, and I was walking across the street. I had the light, you know what I mean? So whatever. So I don't know. I should have gotten some money. You have thought about it enough quickly to get over that I just got hit to think, okay, I'm going to get my money?
Oh, no, yeah, definitely would have. I would have immediately looked at the car to see what type of car it was.
Oh, yeah?
I feel like we all say that, but I've also never been hit by a car. I feel like I would have done the same thing as you, Tom. Just been like, I'm okay, I'm all right. I
did go airborne and
Yeah.
like hit and roll over and fall, So
Yeah.
I did go through all that. You'd have thought immediately,
But
like,
you didn't have any head pain or anything. You just was you in pain?
no. Later, I realized my elbow was screwed up and my knee was not good, and but other than that, it wasn't that bad. No, I didn't have anything like.
Yeah, I guess I'll say I'll be landing, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I wish looking back, I wish I would have like just gone and gotten a little insurance chunk. Like, oh, my arm, I can't throw in the yard with my son ever again.
Oh yeah, you can do that shit.
That's just
gotta
cautious.
milk it.
Yeah.
They were like 100,000.
Yeah.
You stole this man's son's childhood.
I'll never hold another microphone again.
You know what's crazy?